Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you one fantastic drill which I've used with one of my online students that's just basically revolutionized his short game. Over the recent weeks, I've been doing a lot of online coaching with the wedges because we're coming into the golf season here in the UK in particular, and it is in time to try and sharpen this club up. Missing greens in regulation or just trying to get up and down for birdie after that bombed drive. We've got to be able to utilize these clubs, and a lot of the time we're trying to hit 300 yards, but when we get within 20 yards, we've got to be trying to get up and down. Or I say to all of my players, whether you are a scratch golfer or of 28, 3 shots from inside of 75 yards will make you a top player. 1 wedge, 2 putts, maximum. Every single player gets down to that level, we start seeing single figure handicaps at worst. So we need to set our standards to that level. In this video, I'm going to be giving you one fantastic drill which I've used with one of my online students that's just basically revolutionized his short game. Now, throughout the video, I'm going to show you a couple of really good demonstrations using the ballon insoles of what I see very, very commonly amongst my students.
Obviously before they've had a lesson.
Okay, so most commonly, we see players actually set up to the ball relatively well. There's a lot of information out online where players know that they want to be setting up with the body weight favouring the lead side at setup. But what happens from there is when all the issues start to occur. So let's say, for example, general rule of thumb, we want body weight position 60-40 favouring this lead side. And we want to see the ball position, I would say, central between the toes, but more on the inside of the left heel. Now, what I mean by that is we're going to flare this lead foot out towards the target. And this will just help you, this will help us rotate through and extend up through that left hip. A lot of players, if they just kind of stand too straight, makes it very, very difficult to be able to rotate through the shot. So we often flare this lead foot out, so the ball position goes between the 2 big toes, but it's actually, you'll notice it's more in line with the inside of the left heel because of the angle of that heel. So we go 60-40 into this lead side, kind of pressured kind of relatively evenly through the foot. And now from here, we want to try and maintain 60-40 into that lead side as we get towards this top of the swing. Now this is only a chipping video, so we're only going to swing it to around about just below waist height or thigh height. And we're just going to try and make sure that the body weight stays into that lead foot. Now what you saw on the demonstration of one of my students is actually they go more into the lead side during the backswing, and then as they come into the through swing, as they come into the impact position, they move away into the trail side. And what this does is it does a couple of things. It makes the body center move to the right of the golf ball, which makes the club land earlier, or makes the club start to rise up as it's about to hit the golf ball. Also, it completely changes your spine angle position. So if I set up here and we've got 60% on the left side, or just there we go, 60% on that left side, my spine angle relative to the ball is pretty straight really. But if I go left side and then on the back foot, notice how my spine angle now is leaning away from the target, and I've got now 85% on my right foot. So really, really important that we don't allow the body weight to move around too much during this swing. So as we set up, weight's gonna be on the left side, and what the best drill I've seen, and I do with my students, I want you to pick up this right foot, pull it back in line with your left heel, and just go on your toe. Now you're gonna feel that all the body weight's on this lead side, and you're gonna hit shots from there. And what you'll find is that it's kind of so exaggerated into that lead side that you're going to feel completely different. You're also not going to be able to shift into the right foot during the backswing. So if we set again, right onto the tiptoe, weight forward. And as long as you've got that rotation up through the shot, you're going to be able to clear the golf club through the ball quite comfortably. You're going to have a nice angle of attack into the ball. It's not going to be too steep. Because I know a lot of you might be thinking, right, if I go left side and I really stay down here, you come into the ball far too steep. That does not have to be the case, is probably the easiest way to say that. And if you watch other YouTube channels, Gazzy's Golf, he does this for his chipping after seeing Dan Grieve, and it's a great drill. I think most of us as coaches do this. It's not a special drill that's come from nowhere, as you can tell. It's just pretty basic, really. But it's a great way of just practicing, keeping the weight forward. Then make sure you turn him. So you've got that rotation. Even though these short kind of 20-yard shots, we still want the shoulders clearing back and rotating through, okay? So even if I just tap this 10 yards, there. I've still got my body pointing out to the target. I've got the butt of the club very close to my belt buckle, and I'm just allowing that golf club just to kind of work, let gravity work the golf club down as my left hip extends up as I rotate through and into that position there. All of the time I'm keeping my body weight favouring this lead side. There we are, 63, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, pretty close, back, through. The rotation is what's going to stop you from digging, but you've got to be in that right position to start with. Really, really important. Very, very simple drill. As I said, I think Dan Grieve, one of the best golf coaches for short game around at the moment in particular, is something I've seen him coach. I've seen one of his players, I'd class Gaz as one of his players. They do it really simple, and it stops the body weight moving to the left and then pulling back away through. Now there's obviously a lot more going on in a short game. We've got to make sure we've got good club face awareness, we've got good rotation. That is an absolute given, but really important that you're able to just make sure you keep the body weight into the correct position to stop you from digging the club down into the ground or from leaning away and thinning it. Guys, I hope this video has helped. I'm sure it has to. Please give a comment, like, subscribe, you know the drill. Take care.